Assemblyman DiPietro is our Assemblyman in the 147th District. David has consistently voted on the side of the Constitution and has faced massive backlash from both sides of the aisle for his morals and his dedication to standing for what is right. However, the people have proven again and again that he is exactly what Will Barclay labeled him, the conscience of the Assembly. His ability to lead and his willingness to stand in the lion's den to represent us are second to none. He has won the distinct title of most conservative politician in New York State 5 years in a row by the American Conservative Union. Not only does he believe in the Constitution and the freedoms of the people, he believes in God, and that is his driving motivation.
I'm Dave DiPietro. This isn't my district, but I want to tell you right off the bat, we've got Andy Goodell here, you've got Joe Giglio, who I work with in the Assembly, two of the most finest people I've ever met, and they stand up for you. Can we give them a round of applause? They do a great job. Also, two people I'd like to thank before we start also. Are there any veterans here? Any veterans? And also, how about God? Because I always say, I hope God's protecting our veterans. So how about a round for God and our veterans? And this rally that we're here today, this rally is about the people that not just fight for you, but stand for the beliefs that you believe in. And what a good start than if you're reading these signs right here. These are the people you should be supporting right here. And that's these are great people besides other people here that you've mentioned, but help them out whenever you get a chance. They need your help. We're in the lion's den, folks. As George Borrello had said, and I forgot George because he's the senator, so I'm only thinking about the Assembly. Sorry, George. George has become one of my really good friends up there. And you know why? Because when I first met him, we were both extremely conservative, we were both businessmen, and we both understood the corruption in Albany. And so whenever I have issues, I can call George up, and we're on the same wavelength. So you're blessed to have someone like George leading you at the Senate level too. So I want to just mention that. Like George had said, I'm a businessman. I was a dry cleaner. Not a very pretty job, 7 days a week most of the time, but I grew up working. And I think that's what distinguished me a lot in Albany, and that's what really, a couple of years ago, the Democrats brought in 16 or 17 new people out of 150. I always let people know there's 150 Assembly people. Out of that, 107 are Democrats, 43 Republicans, we're in the minority. Out of the 107 Democrats, 82 are from New York City. So New York City gets everything they want, and that's why this state is so backwards, corrupt, and broke. So, but out of the 17 people that came up to Albany, the new ones, I was going through all their bios as they were, 15 were community activists that never worked a job in their life. One was an employee of another elected official, and one actually was a teacher, I think, and they ran. There was no working experience, and that there is none up in Albany when it comes to jobs and ethics. What struck me, though, was in the last 4 years, we had one devout communist, Charles Barron, who would, every time in the morning when we'd start the pledge, he would sit in his chair and turn his back to the flag. Now there are 17 communists in the Assembly who are registered with the Socialist Democratic Party, and they run the show. That's why it's getting really crazy. AOC is running this state, and it's very scary. So a little bit about me. I am in our conference for the state. I am the liaison, the leader for all Second Amendment issues and all right to life issues, and I'm very proud of that. And I just want to tell you one thing I'm going to stand up for always with you. Okay, and that's when I got up there. I sat with a congressman when I got elected over 10 years ago. We went to Tim Hortons and he said, Dave, you can reinvent yourself. You can be anything you want up there. No one knows you in Albany. Go up there, be the farm guy, be the gun guy, be whatever you want. And what I was sitting there, when he was telling me all this, all I kept thinking about was, I'm going to be the God guy and the Constitution guy. I want to stand up for the Constitution, and I want to stand up for our values. So I've always said it's faith, family, and freedom. I'm always going to stand up for the faith of God in Jesus Christ and how he controls and what we do for him. I'm going to stand up for our family because that's interlocked. Because the family is the true nature and the true inner being of our soul and our country and what we believe in. And the freedom is what we get out of all this. When this great nation was founded, that's what it was founded on. It was founded on God and the family. And that's where we have our freedom. And they're trying to destroy all that. And I'm sincere about that. When Andrew Cuomo said, this country was never that great, he meant it. And on the other side of the aisle, they mean it. And Andy Goodell will tell you, he's our floor leader and attorney, that at least once a week, sometimes more, they bring up a bill that's unconstitutional. Am I right, Andy? And Andy will go over and say, you can't do this, it's unconstitutional, and he'll lay it out, right out of the Constitution, you can't do it. And you know what they say? They start laughing at him. We're passing it anyway. And I learned real quickly during the SAFE Act, my first day in Albany, when the Democrat next to me from New York City said, 1 in 5, Dave. And I said, what does that mean? He goes, we don't care about the Constitution. We're going to pass it. You want to fight it? Go ahead. It's $1 million in 5 years. We'll see you in court. Spend your money, and then maybe get a return. But for 5 years at least, we're going to pass this, and you go fight it. So I want to tell you, that's right. So I just want to tell you that I'm proud to be here. I'm always proud to stand up for the flag. Like you said, I was 5 years in a row. Just got the American Conservative Union. That's the national conservative group, #1 conservative in New York State, ranked nationally. But also the New York State Conservative Party, 5 years in a row, #1 conservative in New York State on the state level, and that's never been done in New York State. And when I'm out of this gig, I'm going to look back and say I'm proud of that because I've never compromised my values, my votes, my inner sanctum, never compromised. I'll always fight for you. God bless you. Thanks for having me.